Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a journey exploring Italy. It's a place that's fascinated people for, well, forever it seems.
Absolutely.
Our guide for this exploration is Discover Italy with flightandhotels.com. And our mission really is to get past the usual postcard stuff.
Yeah, beyond the cliches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We want to uncover the real reasons Italy is still such a top destination. Think of this as your shortcut to understanding what makes Italy, well, Italy.
And we're not just flicking through a travel brochure here. We're trying to grasp the core things that make visiting Italy so rewarding.
Drawing on the info from flightandhotels.com, right?
Right. Using their insights, their practical tips, but also looking at the bigger picture. It's about understanding the essence behind it all.
Okay, so let's unpack that. The source kicks off by calling Italy a living masterpiece. That's quite an image.
It is.
What makes that feel right?
Well, I think what's really amazing is how Italy just seamlessly blends, thousands of years of history with this really vibrant modern life. It's not like a museum piece preserved under glass. It's dynamic. You see ancient Roman paths being used by Vespas today, Renaissance buildings, housing modern shops.
Right, that constant back and forth between then and now.
Exactly. That interplay creates this unique energy. It's almost tangible. Roman law, the Decaius Civil, that started there.
Yeah.
It formed the basis for so many modern legal systems. That's a legacy that's still kind of shaping things today.
Wow, that's a deep connection. And it seems this appeal isn't just for history buffs, is it? The source says Italy draws everyone: honeymooners, families, solo explorers.
Yeah, and I think the thread there, if you dig a bit deeper, is Italy's almost unique ability to satisfy these sort of contrasting desires we have.
Like what?
Like the need for inspiration, seeing incredible art or history, but also the need for just pure relaxation.
Ah.
You could be blown away by Leonardo da Vinci in the morning and then, I don't know, be chilling with amazing seafood overlooking the Med in the afternoon.
That's quite a range.
Yeah, it is. And it caters to so many different interests. And of course, platforms like flightandhotels.com, they make actually getting there and doing that much more accessible, which helps.
Remove some barriers.
Yeah.
Now, the deep dive talks about these pillars of Italian excellence. The first one is Italy as a cradle of Western civilization. We've all heard that phrase, but what does it actually feel like on the ground?
That's a good question, because it's easy for it to sound abstract, but when you're there, it becomes, real. It's not just ruins. It's understanding the foundational impact Italy had on, everything. Art, philosophy, law, architecture. Think about humanism during the Renaissance in Florence.
Okay.
That whole movement, focusing on human potential, it totally shifted how people thought, how they created art, how they viewed science. And you can feel that legacy walking around Florence today. You're right there where it happened.
It's like you said, tangible, like walking through the source code for so much of Western culture.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
Okay, pillar number 2, world-class cuisine. Now, we all love Italian food, right? But what's different about eating it in Italy? What does the source say elevates it?
Well, the source really nails the connection to place, to tradition. You can get lasagna anywhere, sure.
Sure.
But eating real bolognese lasagna in Bologna, made with fresh pasta, that slow-cooked ragu, it's just a completely different universe. It's about generations of knowledge, the specific local ingredients. It's like terroir for wine,
Ah, the terroir of taste. I like that.
Exactly. That same idea applies. It's deeply rooted in the region, the specific methods passed down.
Okay, that makes sense. Pillar 3, art and architecture. Italy has the most UNESCO World Heritage sites, the source says. It calls the whole country an open-air museum.
And it really feels like that. It's the sheer density of it all that's kind of mind-blowing.
How so?
Well, you can just be wandering through Rome, turn a corner, and boom, there's Colosseum, just sitting there. An incredible piece of ancient engineering, witness to centuries, or St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican, just breathtaking Renaissance and Baroque work. These aren't fenced-off exhibits.
They're part of the city.
Exactly. You might be having your morning coffee looking at a Roman temple. And that UNESCO status just confirms, this isn't just important for Italy, it's recognized as vital for all humanity.
It's like history and art are just in the air you breathe.
Very much.
And the final pillar is natural beauty. We often picture the cities, but the source emphasizes Italy's geography is really diverse.
Oh, absolutely. And you miss a huge part of Italy if you only stick to the big cities. You've got the Dolomites, these dramatic, sharp peaks, amazing for skiing, hiking.
Right.
Then the rolling hills of Tuscany, covered in vineyards, olive groves, classic pastoral beauty. And then Sardinia's coast, rugged, wild, with these incredible turquoise waters.
So mountains, countryside, coast.
It's got it all. Whatever landscape you love, Italy probably has a version of it.
Okay, this is great context. Now let's get practical for someone thinking about a trip. The deep dive spotlights some top tourist destinations. Rome, the Eternal City, is up first. A must for first-timers, apparently.
Definitely.
Beyond the big names Colosseum, what's the essential Rome experience, according to the source?
Well, those big landmarks are crucial, They give you that grounding in Rome's immense history. The Colosseum, Roman Forum, Pantheon, Vatican City. You need that foundation.
Okay.
But the real magic of Rome, I think, and what the source hints at, is how that ancient grandeur just meshes with modern life.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're tossing a coin in the Trevi Fountain, this incredible Baroque thing, but you're surrounded by the chatter of modern Romans, the buzz of the city, or having a gelato in Piazza Navona, looking at Bernini's fountain.
It's that mix again.
It's that constant interplay. That's what makes Rome, Rome.
Okay, from the ancient capital to Florence, birthplace of the Renaissance.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's all about art. What makes seeing art in Florence so special?
Florence was literally the engine room of the Renaissance, wasn't it? A period of just explosive creativity.
Right.
So when you go to the Uffizi Gallery and see Botticelli's Birth of Venus with your own eyes, or you stand under Michelangelo's David at the Accademia, it connects you directly to that revolutionary time.
Wow.
The whole city feels like a museum, really. Masterpieces everywhere. And think about things like linear perspective that was developed in Florence. It changed Western art forever.
You feel that history there?
Yeah.
Then there's Venice, the floating city, almost feels unreal. Gondolas aside, what's the lasting vibe?
What's so striking about Venice is how water dictates everything. The whole city, its culture, its atmosphere, it's all shaped by the canals.
Sure.
Getting lost in those tiny alleys, the Cali, crossing bridge after bridge, seeing old palaces reflected in the water. It's almost dreamlike.
Yeah.
And St. Mark's Basilica with those amazing Byzantine mosaics, that speaks to Venice's history as a bridge to the east. It feels timeless, but also kind of fragile,
Yeah, definitely unique. Okay, back to the mainland Tuscany. Rolling hills and fine wines. The quintessential Italian countryside, right?
Absolutely, the classic image. And the source is spot on about the landscapes, the vineyards, the olive groves. They're beautiful, but also key to Tuscany's food and wine.
Especially the wine.
Oh, yeah. Exploring those charming medieval towns built on hilltops like San Gimignano with its towers, or Montepulciano, famous for its Vino Nollier, that gives you a real taste of Italy's rural history.
Sounds lovely.
And doing a wine tasting in Chianti, you're not just drinking amazing wine. You're learning about the whole process, the tradition, right there in that gorgeous setting.
Then the Amalfi Coast. Coastal beauty like no other. What makes this stretch of coast stand out?
Well, its UNESCO status says a lot. It's recognized for exceptional beauty, both natural and cultural. You have these incredibly dramatic cliffs diving into this bright blue sea.
Wow.
And towns like Positano that just seem to tumble down the cliffside. Elegant villas, lemon groves everywhere. It's just breathtaking.
So it's very scenic.
It's perfect for those scenic drives, swimming, soaking up that Mediterranean vibe. It can be quite glamorous, too.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. The deep dive also covers the Dolomites and northern lakes. This feels like a completely different Italy.
It really is. A total contrast to the cities or the southern coast. The Dolomites are pure alpine drama. Fantastic for hiking, skiing, mountain biking, proper outdoor adventure stuff.
Right.
And the northern lakes, like Como and Garda, they offer this sense of tranquility, a kind of sophisticated beauty. Think elegant villas, charming lakeside towns. They've always attracted artists, writers.
The different kind of escape. Finally, the islands, Sicily and Sardinia, offering island life with a cultural twist. What's distinct about them?
They both have really strong, unique identities, shaped by different histories, different influences, because they're islands. Sicily has these amazingly preserved ancient Greek temples.
Right, I've seen pictures.
And Mount Etna, the volcano, which is still active, plus incredible street food, influenced by centuries of different rulers, Greeks, Romans, Arabs, Normans.
Wow, quite a mix.
And Sardinia, famous for stunning beaches, that incredibly clear turquoise water, but also a rugged, wild interior, and its own ancient history, the Nuragic culture, even before the Romans.
So very different experiences even between the two islands.
Definitely. A different pace of life, distinct traditions.
This tour is fantastic. Now, since our source is flightandhotels.com, it naturally talks about the practicalities of planning. What are the key benefits they highlight for travelers using their platform?
Yeah, they focus on making the whole planning process smoother, offering flights, hotels, car rentals, all in one place.
Convenience.
Exactly. Letting you compare lots of airlines, majors, budget ones, and finding accommodation, whether you want luxury hotels or, cozy villas or budget spots. You can filter for what you need.
And car rentals.
Yeah, easy booking for cars, which is super useful if you want to explore Tuscany or Sicily properly, get off the beaten track. Plus, it's all mobile-friendly, secure booking, the usual things you need nowadays.
Makes sense. Take some stress out of it. The deep dive also touches on the best time to visit, depending on what you're after. Quick summary.
Sure. Spring, so April to June, is often seen as ideal. Milder weather, flowers blooming, fewer crowds than summer. Great for general exploring.
Okay.
Fall, September, October, is perfect for foodies. Wine harvests, truffle hunting, beautiful autumn colors.
Nice.
Summer, July, August is peak season. Best for beaches, lively atmosphere, but expect heat and crowds in cities.
And winter.
Winter, December to February, is great for skiing in the Alps, obviously. And cities are much quieter, fewer tourists, which some people prefer.
Good to tailor to your interests. Lastly, some useful travel tips from the source.
Yeah.
Any key ones?
Yeah, the basics. Language, Italian, but English is widely spoken in tourist spots. Currency is the euro.
Right.
Transport. Trains are excellent between cities, but rent a car for countryside exploring. Safety? Generally safe, but watch out for pickpockets in busy areas, like anywhere.
Standard precautions.
Pretty much. And etiquette. Dress respectfully for churches. Tipping isn't mandatory like in the U.S., but it's definitely appreciated for good service in restaurants.
Got it. So wrapping up, Discover Italy with flightandhotels.com paints a picture of Italy as incredibly varied. That living masterpiece description really seems to fit.
It does.
And tools like flightandhotels.com obviously aim to make planning that Italian dream trip, well, easier and maybe more affordable.
Absolutely. What really comes through is that Italy offers this experience that hits all the senses, history, art, food, nature, it all blends together. It's enduring, but also always feels fresh, inviting. It's definitely a place that kind of stays with you after you visit.
A powerful combination. So on that note, a final thought for you, our listener. Given this incredible range, Italy offers deep history, amazing food, stunning scenery. What part of it sparks your desire to explore? If you were creating your own Italian journey, your own living masterpiece, what would it look like? Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.